this meeting of the Plum Borough School District Board of Directors. May all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Ms. Vente.
Mr. Colella.
Here.
Mr. Dowdell.
Here.
Mrs. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. McGuff.
Here.
Mr. St. Ledger.
Present.
Mrs. Stepnick is absent. Mr. Tomarello.
Present.
Mrs. White.
Here.
Mr. Zuko.
Here.
Thank you.
The board met in executive session on August 19th, 2014, and this evening, August 26th, 2014, to discuss matters of personnel, student confidentiality, negotiations, collective bargaining, and real estate.
Approval of minutes. Recommend approval of the following meeting minutes: July 29 regular board meeting, August 12 transportation, facilities, education committees, and the August 19 special voting meeting, finance and facilities committee.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Are there any citizens' comments on agenda items this evening? Comments on agenda items. Are there any citizens' comments on non-agenda items this evening? No comments? Dr. Glasspool, the agenda.
Thank you. Facilities committee, Mr. Rich Zuko, chair. Recommend approval to pay all GOB invoices as presented.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to accept the maintenance agreement with Chem Aqua Incorporated for the boiler chiller treatment at a cost of $5,425.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to increase the annual rental fee for the East Suburban YMCA 3% to $1,167 for the 2014-15 school year.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to accept the following use of facilities applications as listed.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
The Facilities Committee met on August 12, 2014. Mr. Zuko will make this report.
It's been a pretty exciting month, considering it was a summer month. Under the Facilities Committee, a lot of things came up. Some things are still pending, but I'll get to the high points. The new Holiday Park is on schedule and doing very well. At the high school, our tennis courts have been completely refinished. The cafeteria floor is completed, and I believe the roof is 99% done and will be done by the beginning of school. The center air conditioning system is up and installed, and it should be running for the first day of school. We had a discussion concerning the future of the Regency Park Elementary School, and on the meeting last week, we had narrowed it down to 3 choices, but of all those choices, the consensus was that we were going to keep that school open. And it was going to become a 2-run school, and we had choices. We've narrowed it down to a single addition, I believe would be a 2-story, or 2 smaller additions, 1-story additions, and the third alternative would be to build a new school altogether. Those costs are estimated to range between $7.6 million and $8.5 million for the additions. So it may be feasible to build a new school completely. We're going to have to look into that. That's what we're working on now. In conjunction with that is, regardless of what alternative and what choice we choose, The students are going to have to be relocated for the duration of either the remodeling or the rebuilding. It's for their safety, primarily reason we can't do that kind of renovation. It's a very comprehensive renovation, and that not just are we putting additions on, but we're adding all new structures, surface, electrical, plumbing, communications, everything. So please be aware of that factor. We have made a tentative proposal to the bus drivers at the ATU, and we hope to ratify, they will ratify that on September 29th. They're taking it to their members. And I think what we're trying to do here is show commitment to our district-owned transportation system. And this is an early bird contract because they have 1 year left on the current contract, but what we're trying to establish here is a long-term stability and budgetability to know exactly what our costs are going to be in the future. The last item that happened exciting is that, as some people know, and it's been publicly announced, that we are in the process of looking for a new transportation maintenance center. And we've got a facility that we're looking at, and right now we're in a 45-day due diligence period where we're having our engineers look at that facility and see if it will meet all of our needs and to see if it's up to code in all respects. And we'll hope to make a decision on that later in the month, within the next month. So our next meeting will be in September, and I wish you all well for the beginning of the school year, and that's all we had for the Facilities Committee this month.
Thank you. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 16th, following the Transportation Committee here in the high school boardroom. Personnel Committee, Mr. Kevin Dowdell, Chair. Recommend approval to conditionally hire Colonel Richard Peterson as JROTC teacher at the contracted rate, currently the Armed Forces minimum instructor pay, effective at a date to be determined by the superintendent. Conditions are receipt of PD clearances, certification, and/or Section 111 affidavit pending receipt of those clearances.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, this,
Hello?
hello?
Great, thank you. It's going to bite you.
What was that? A little bit of feedback. Okay, this is a commanding officer which meets the requirement for the ROTC program, and the minimum instructor pay is reimbursed by the Armed Forces in half, so we get 50% reimbursement on the minimum instructor pay. And I believe his PD certification did come in today. There's just a few more clearances, so hopefully we'll have him in by the beginning of school or shortly thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
And just to be clear, we had 3 ROTC teachers, and we're now going to be only having a total of 2. That's the plan for the school year, correct?
Yes, my understanding, yes.
Okay.
Any additional discussion? No additional discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to hire Carrie Kelso, long-term substitute Spanish teacher at Plum High School, effective September 2, 2014, at the contracted rate.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to hire Dan Kavanaugh, full-time custodian, at the contracted rate, effective September 2nd, 2014.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to hire Skylar Hill, part-time custodian, at the contracted rate, effective August 29, 2014.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to hire Nicole Hoover, part-time custodian at the contracted rate effective August 29, 2014.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to adjust the maternity leave return date of Dana Iera, school psychologist, to October 1, 2014.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to accept the contract for Cindy Vento as presented.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to amend the salary of Kaiza Swizak to Master's Step 1.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval of the agreement with Kennywood. I apologize. Education Committee, Mrs. Michelle Gallagher, Chair. Recommend approval of the agreement with Kennywood for the school picnic date of June 9, 2015, as presented.
On behalf of the committee, I would like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval of overnight conference request for Dr. Glasspool to attend the Emerging Leaders Conference from December 4 through the 6, 2014 in Washington, D.C.
On behalf of the committee, I would like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This is quite an award for Dr. Glasspool. Congratulations, Dr. Glasspool.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I think it shows great on your commitment to the school district, students, and parents of this great community. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval of the following overnight conference requests as listed.
On behalf of the committee, I would like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval of the Plum Borough School District Comprehensive Plan as presented.
On behalf of the committee, I would like to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in it. I thought it was a fantastic, fantastic plan, and I think Dr. Rossi, congratulations on putting this together for us. It's a great document. Any other discussion?
I believe it's on the website.
Yeah, correct.
If any of our community would like to go to the website and check out the comprehensive plan. So I encourage anybody to do that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
The Education Committee met on August 12, 2014. Mrs. Gallagher will make this report.
Our committee meeting on the 12th, basically, we were recapping a lot of our PSSA results. Dr. Rossi had put together a slide presentation for us to view. It was very informative. A lot of things are going to be changing in the upcoming year. We're kind of doing away, with some of the baseline criteria. However, if anybody would like to go to our website, those results are also on the website if you want to check out the new PSSAs for 2014. And I also wanted to encourage our residents to check out the website, if they haven't done so already, to look at where their bus stop will be for the students. Again, we did not get it into the In Plum magazine, so it is encouraged that our community looks on the website. And I just wanted to wish all of our students a great year of learning.
Thank you. The next meeting is scheduled for September 16th, following the Facilities Committee in the high school boardroom. Finance Committee, Mr. Tom McGuff, Chair. Recommend approval of the Treasurer's Report and bill payments for July 2014 as presented.
On behalf of the committee, I'll make that recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Finance Committee met on August 19, 2014. There's no report this evening. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. in the high school boardroom. Policy Committee, Mrs. Michelle Stepnick, Chair. Recommend approval of the following policies as listed.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
The Policy Committee met on August 12, 2014. There is no report this evening. The next meeting is...
Yes.
I apologize.
One quickie. There was one item that I think we should bring up and for future reference, and that will be, despite these number of policies that we continually review and update, there's one that's going to be specifically important next year, which is Policy 915. If anyone would like to look that up on the website, that is concerning our transportation sending quest. And I think when we redistrict, we're going to have to give some real serious thought to that. And I hate to say that, but I think it's going to need a major overhaul. So for any of those people who are maybe involved in it or think they need to look at this policy, please don't wait till the last minute next year and go, no one told you about it or we didn't know, because this is going to be a very critical issue when we redistrict and open our new school. Thank you.
Thank you. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 16, 2014, at 6 p.m. in the high school boardroom. I apologize, September 9th at 6 p.m. in the high school boardroom. Transportation Committee, Mr. Joe Tomarella, Chair. The Transportation Committee met on August 12, 2014. There is no report this evening. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 16th at 6 p.m. in the high school boardroom. Athletic Committee, Mr. John St. Ledger, Chair. Recommend approval to hire Dennis Casarcia, Senior High Assistant Girls Soccer Coach, at the contracted rate for the 2014-15 season.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to hire the following coaches for the 2014-15 winter season at the contracted rate as listed.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to accept Mike Bellino, Senior High Volunteer Assistant Boys Soccer Coach for the 2014-15 season.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Recommend approval to accept the following volunteer coaches for the 2014-15 winter season as listed.
On behalf of the committee, I'd like to make that recommendation as well.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
The Athletic Committee did not meet this month. There will be no report. Food Service and Nutrition Committee, Mrs. Loretta White, Chair. The Food Service and Nutrition Committee did not meet this month. Mrs. White will make this report.
Even though we did not meet, I do have one announcement to make concerning our food service director, Mrs. Marianne Lazaro, who has again received international recognition. She was recognized in a national food service magazine describing a popular lunch that she serves. This lunch is similar to one served at Olive Garden, which I just love. Chicken parmesan, white wheat garlic toast, and a side of pasta. She was quoted as saying, "Lunch counts skyrocket this day as students flock to lunch for one of our signature dishes." Congratulations to Mrs. Lazaro, who continues to get all kinds of awards for her wonderful work that she does for us. Thank you again.
Thank you. Intergovernmental Committee, Mr. John St. Ledger, Chair. The Intergovernmental Committee did not meet this month. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 7, 2014, at 6 p.m. in the high school boardroom. There is no report this evening. Forbes Road Career and Technology Center, Mr. John St. Ledger, Representative. There is no report this evening. Eastern Area Schools, Mrs. Loretta White, Representative. There is no report this evening.
Well, we're meeting this Thursday
We'll have a report next month.
Next month, yes, sir.
Thank you. Legislative Policy Council, Mr. Joe Tomarella, Representative. There's no report this evening. Allegheny Intermediate Unit Number 3, Mr. Tom McGuff, Board Member. Mr. McGuff will make this report.
Just very briefly, for my teammates, two dates that I'd like to lift up. The 2014 STEAM Showcase Open House will be September the 11th, 2014, from 11 to 2, and that's a very, very worthwhile event, and one that, if you are available, you'd certainly be welcome to attend. The other is the PA Basic Education Funding Campaign. This is a statewide video conference event that'll be September the 30th. This will be at the AIU from 7 to 8:45, and it'll be conducted in the central office. And again, this is just a way of building teamwork and advocacy within the 42 districts of Allegheny County. So again, just those two dates, September the 11th and September 30th.
Where's the September 11th? Tom?
The September 11th, I see here, I thought that it was at the AIU also, but it has the IBEW Circuit Center and Ballroom. And I don't recognize that as a place within the AIU. I don't recognize one of the rooms being named that. So I'm assuming that that's...
Yeah, that's on the
yes.
south side.
Okay, on the south side. So it has here the IBEW Circuit Center and Ballroom, and if you'd like more information, we could carpool or, go down together. Thank you.
Thank you. President's report, Mr. Sal Colella.
Thank you, Dr. Glasspool. I'd like to welcome back our students and their families for the 14-15 school year. A special thanks to all the summer folks, the technology technicians, the custodians, the administrative staff, administrative assistants, the maintenance folks for preparing our schools. I think you'll find they are well prepared for the opening day. We ask our parents to be patient with our transportation department. We have new drivers, we have some new routes, and we have some new software. Hopefully that things will work out, but there may be some little bit of glitch in the drop-off and pickup times. They may run several minutes later than advertised. But the bus stop information is posted on our website. Ask our drivers to be cautious. Our students are waiting for the buses. It's a new day of school, and please be careful when you drive. Check the website for specific dates for school pictures, open houses, and fall assessments. The homecoming game and dance are scheduled for September 26th and 27th this year. Importantly, the Plum Foundation kicks off their dinner September 27th. Ticket information is available on our website. I look forward to a great school year, and welcome back, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements. The regular September board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 30th at 7 p.m. here in the high school auditorium.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Wait, one item. I would like to thank whoever got our system working better.
CRISPR.
CRISPR works good. Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
It's nice to hear what the other side of the table is saying, you know?